The whispers began the moment Cardi B uploaded the photos. It wasn't just any post. It was the kind of reveal that sends shockwaves through social media, entertainment blogs, gossip rooms, and fan circles who memorize every detail of her life. Cardi, who had been unusually quiet in recent months, suddenly dropped a carousel of images showing her newborn son wrapped in a New England Patriots blanket, his tiny head covered by a matching cap. The baby's name, Stefon Diggs, was announced casually in the caption, almost as if she didn't know the internet would explode instantly. Brim, a name loaded with history, controversy, and symbolism, especially coming from her. The fans who'd followed her from the Bronx strip clubs to the Grammy stage didn't miss its weight. Cardi B, once entangled in street life and surrounded by the energy of gangs like the Brims in NYC, knew exactly what she was doing with that name. Or maybe it was a tribute or a reclamation, or something only she and the baby's father, NFL star Stefon Diggs, truly understood. The photos showed peace and pride, but the commentary underneath them erupted in seconds into a frenzy of speculation, shock, excitement, and deep rumors that had been swirling for months. But what truly set the internet ablaze wasn't the baby. It wasn't even the name. It was the massive, unmistakably expensive diamond ring on Cardi's left hand. A ring that wasn't there a few months ago. A ring that wasn't part of her usual jewelry collection, one that fans recognized immediately as new. A ring that looked very, very much like an engagement ring. Her followers zoomed into every pixel of the photo, posting crop screenshots across X, Instagram, Reddit, and TikTok with circles and arrows captioned with, "Y'all, is Cardi engaged?" and "Look at the ring, OMG." Cardi didn't mention the ring in the caption, didn't confirm anything, didn't deny anything, didn't even acknowledge the fact that she had just set fire to the entire entertainment world's conversation for the day. Fans, blogs, and insiders quickly pieced the clues together. Cardi B and Stefon Diggs were reportedly engaged, and now supposedly they had a child together. A baby boy with a name that carries a story all on its own. Stefon Diggs, the superstar NFL receiver known for both his talent and his complicated romantic history, had been quietly connected to Cardi for nearly a year. Whispers of private meetings, low-key trips, and late-night dinners in cities where paparazzi never thought to look had circulated in the gossip sphere, but nothing was confirmed. And then the unexpected happened. Cardi's pregnancy hidden masterfully until the very end. In an era where celebrity secrets leak like water from a cracked vase, the fact they kept this baby under wraps until the moment the photos were posted was a shocking victory in itself. Fans couldn't believe it, and yet there the baby was, little Stefon Diggs, sleeping peacefully in his Patriots blanket. A subtle nod to Stefon's current team. The comments quickly shifted from excitement over the baby to debates about the ring, the relationship, the timeline, the future wedding, and the drama that inevitably trails behind Cardi like a restless shadow. Cardi has never hidden her desire for her children to grow up in a household where parents are married. She has spoken openly about her mother's traditional values, about the way she was raised, about wanting stability and unity, even in the chaotic world of fame and fortune. Fans knew this. They also knew she had been trying to finalize her divorce from Offset for months. What they didn't know until now was why it was dragging on for so long. Offset, the rapper who had been both the love of her life and the cause of some of her deepest pain, was refusing to sign the divorce papers. The man who once gave her elaborate gifts, who stood beside her during her rise, who fathered 3 children with her, was now standing in the way of her happiness. Sources close to the situation had whispered before that Offset wanted something Cardi wasn't willing to give, But the exact details were murky. Now the truth was finally out. He wanted half her net worth, half of everything she worked for, half the empire she built from scratch, half the $100 million she earned through hits, endorsement deals, performances, collaborations, fashion partnerships, and relentless hustle. Offset, bitter and desperate, was demanding a payout she found outrageous. And until he signed, the divorce wasn't finalized, which meant Cardi legally couldn't marry Stefon. The irony wasn't lost on anyone. The woman who once defended Offset through endless scandals, who forgave him publicly, who tried over and over to make their family work, was now being legally held hostage by the same man. Cardi's fans immediately exploded online with frustration, pointing out that Offset had already benefited from years of her success. Others argued he deserved nothing after publishing her multiple times. And then there were those who believed everything was more complicated than it appeared, that behind closed doors, this was a battle between pride, heartbreak, resentment, and money. Stefon Diggs, meanwhile, remained silent. But fans knew silence doesn't mean weakness, especially in the NFL world, where players are trained to keep private matters private until the right moment. Insiders claimed he was deeply committed to Cardi and their newborn son, and that he wanted to marry her as soon as legally possible. Some said he was furious about Offset's refusal to sign. Others said he was trying to give Cardi the emotional space she needed to navigate the chaos. But all sources agreed on one thing. Stefon was all in. He wanted a future with her. Then came another layer of conversation, one that revealed the ugly side of internet commentary. A portion of social media fixated on the baby's skin tone. Many fans immediately noted that baby Brim appeared darker than Cardi's other children. Some celebrated the beauty of his complexion, calling him stunning, adorable, perfect. But others leaned into colorist commentary, a recurring problem in the entertainment world, especially for Black and Afro-Latina women. One commenter on Rhymes with Snitch wrote, "That baby is brown. I wonder how it's going to be to have one child that don't look like the others." The comment spread quickly, sparking arguments about ignorance, internalized racism, colorism, and unnecessary comparisons among children from blended families. Some defended the commenter as simply pointing out a biological observation. Others condemned the remark as harmful and unnecessary. Cardi's supporters rallied fiercely, reminding everyone that children inherit different features, that beauty comes in every shade, and that comparing siblings, especially in a racialized context, is cruel. But for Cardi, this moment, the arrival of her new son, was supposed to be joyful. She wanted peace, stability, and the ability to move forward. She wanted to raise baby Brim without the shadow of her old marriage hanging over her. She wanted to publicly confirm her engagement to Stefon without legal complications. She wanted to finally close the chapter with Offset in a way that didn't destroy her emotionally or financially. But life, especially at Cardi's level of fame, is never simple. Every decision becomes a debate. Every photo becomes evidence. Every silence becomes speculation. And yet, in the midst of it, she continues to move forward. Friends close to Cardi say she is deeply in love with Stefon, not because he is an athlete or a celebrity, but because he has been a steady presence during one of the most turbulent periods of her life. He supported her during the pregnancy, shielded her from unnecessary noise, and helped her create a safe space to prepare for motherhood again. The engagement ring she wore in the photo wasn't a prop or a hint. It was real and it was intentional. Cardi wasn't showing off. She was sharing her truth the way she always does, unapologetically, at her own pace, in her own style. But the legal battle with Offset looms large. There will be no wedding until he signs, or until a judge bypasses his signature and finalizes the divorce legally. Cardi's lawyers are reportedly moving to expedite this process, arguing that Offset is using the divorce documents as leverage for money he isn't legally entitled to. If the court agrees, Cardi could be legally free sooner than expected. If not, the fight could stretch on for months. For now, the world watches as Cardi B steps into a new chapter full of hope, uncertainty, love, and conflict. She has a newborn son with a powerful name, a committed partner at her side, and an engagement that symbolizes her desire for a stable family, something she has always dreamed of. But she also has a past that refuses to let go easily. A man who once shared her life, now attempting to control her future, and a public that scrutinizes her every move. And yet, despite the chaos, one thing remains clear. Cardi B has never backed down from a fight. Not in music, not in life, not in love. She has built an empire through resilience, charisma, raw honesty, and an unbreakable spirit. And now, as the world watches her navigate motherhood, engagement, and a stubborn divorce, the one thing fans know for sure is that whatever comes next, Cardi will face it head-on, just as she always has.